Alright, what's this note I got here? Say the name of the film to start the review. Shazam! Hey, it worked! Okay, alright, I know I'm not wearing the red shirt, I'm wearing a black Shazam shirt, but they didn't have any red ones in my size. So let's start this review. This movie, Shazam, is directed by David Sandberg, the man who directed Lights Out and Annabelle Creations. This movie stars Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, DiMaggio Hinoso, Jack Dylan Grazer, Mark Strong, and a bunch of other actors. This movie is a movie I've been actually anxious to see. A DC movie I've been really excited to see. When I saw the trailer for Shazam, I was legitimately excited because it really felt like they were going to get a DC character right. And I've been waiting to see a really good DC movie to the point where I could feel like I could give it one of my higher grades, like an A or an A minus, or this movie doesn't get an A plus from me, but it's still a pretty high grade. And I really like this film. This movie is about a foster kid named Billy Batson. He's been going from foster home to foster home, and he wants to look for his mother. He still believes she's out there somewhere, but the police don't believe he'll ever find her, so they stick him in a new foster home with all these adopted siblings that are from different foster homes. One day when he's defending his adopted brother, Freddie Freeman, played by Jack Dylan Grazer, he runs away into the subway from the bullies that were going after Freddie, meets up with this wizard in this cavern, which in the comics is called the Cavern of Eternity, played by DiMaggio Hinoso. The wizard gives him superpowers and he becomes the superhero known as Shazam. He has to fight against a bad guy named Dr. Savannah, played by Mark Strong. Freddie Freeman helps Shazam learn what it means to be a hero. Billy Batson also learns what it means to have a family, and that's pretty much our movie. Now, I love this movie. This was such an excellent film. It is so good to finally see a DC film that I actually enjoyed a lot, and I have been disappointed with the previous DC films, with the exception of Wonder Woman and Aquaman. I watched Aquaman again, and I actually liked it more the second time around than the first time. I did feel that Jason Momoa and Amber Heard did have some chemistry when I saw the movie the second time, more so than the first time. And I ended up liking Aquaman a bit more. And when I watched Shazam, I really liked this movie a lot, to the point that this movie is actually my favorite from the DCEU films. Now, Shazam used to be a TV show back in the 1970s. It was a pretty cheesy TV show, but it was a pretty cool one at that too. The thing about this character is that this character's real name used to be Captain Marvel. This was DC's Captain Marvel. That's what he was called in the Justice League animated series, Justice League Unlimited. Shazam was a very cool character. He was just as strong as Superman, he could fly like Superman, and be as fast as Superman. But he also has the magical ability, so he has an advantage with Superman. Superman is vulnerable to magic, so that means he can hurt Superman with the lightning. Zachary Levi does an excellent job as the character Shazam. He really gets this character down right. And then you have Asher Angel, who plays Billy Batson. I really liked how they portrayed this kid as somebody that is going through a bit of a character arc. He starts off pretty selfish, and as he's going through the character arc, he learns what it means to have a family and what it means to be a hero. And it was awesome. The scenes that Zachary Levi has with Jack Dylan Grazer is really good. Their chemistry is awesome, and the chemistry Asher Angel has with Jack Dylan Hellraiser is really good too. I did like Mark Strong as the villain. Yeah, he's a generic villain, but I think that's the idea, since this movie's playing off of superhero tropes and being a bit meta about it. So having a generic villain, quote unquote, is fine for this movie. We find out about this villain, Dr. Savani. He controls these demons called the Seven Deadly Sins, which is really cool and can get a bit scary during a few scenes. So if you're going to take your kids to see this movie, take your older kids, about 10 and up maybe. Don't take your younger kids. I heard some of the younger kids actually got scared when they went to see this movie online. The character arc for our hero is done very well, and the other siblings in this movie, Mary, Darla, Eugene, Pedro, were all very good. They each got a good amount of character development, except for Pedro and Eugene. Those two could have used a little bit more character development, I think. I did like the foster parents, Victor and Rosa. They were both really good in this movie, played by Marta Melenas and Andrew Cooper. They really did a good job in this film, and they really felt like warming parents in this movie. And the climax of this film was excellent in this movie. There were a lot of scenes that were really good, like the scene where Billy Batson does eventually meet his mother for the first time after so long and everything. And what happens in that scene, which I don't want to spoil. Everything about this movie was really, really good. But there are some negatives to this movie. I mean, this movie is not perfect. One of the main negatives with this movie is there's much of this film where our hero does start out to be pretty selfish. It takes him a while to really do feel like a hero, and there are some scenes where he does feel heroic before we get to the main bad guy, but there are a lot of scenes where he does act very selfish, and he's doing a lot of tricks with his superpowers, like buys beer because he looks like an adult, or he's taking selfies with other people, with people, and really not using his powers to be heroic, and but other times he does act heroic. So the character arc for this hero is done very well, and everybody does a really good job in this movie. I did like the whole cast in this film. I really like this movie. I'm going to give this movie an A-. Definitely check out Shazam!